Welcome everyone to season 6, episode 16 of the Hall of Fame show. And I'm Kirk Buchner along with Evan Nolan. Evan, how you doing?
Not doing too bad, my friend. It's been an interesting couple weeks here at Naughton Hall of Fame headquarters.
It has. First off, thank you again to everyone who participated in voting and all those who came out for our show, the United States Athletic Hall of Fame announcement show, which is I think now our biggest one of the year. I don't think I'm going to wear a suit though for it, but uh,
Do you even have a suit?
I do. I just never
No,
wear it.
understood.
Well, I mean, I used when I was in sales, I had piles of suits, but
I
no,
almost, I almost, uh, I almost wore a tux, so you should be very excited.
I don't have a tux. Never had. I have tuxedo dress shoes. I mean,
No,
I get some. I mean, I have like about 3, 4 suits now, just when I need to wear it, but I don't really miss wearing it, frankly.
understood.
Yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, we had our class. The announcement officially came out as well. We're recording on Friday. It came out Wednesday. Is that correct?
The video came out yesterday, so yeah. So like that's all now announced on our social media platforms, and it was a really good class. We got to. I think everything that we've learned now too is going to make the fourth run so much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm feeling pretty good about it. Feeling very good about it.
Yeah, and it was great. And one of the greatest things about that whole thing, I mean, it was great having everybody there, but having Upton Bell was basically like having an oracle from the early days of
Right?
sports. So
Yeah,
it was amazing.
it's like
It,
if we had a museum and we were going to it, and then all of a sudden this amazing historian just shows up. Let me tell you a story.
yeah, and, and even after we recorded, the stories kept going for a little bit. My favorite one, I didn't make a camera, is like going back to George Mikan, the guy who was his power forward on the Chicago Gears was my high school basketball coach. And I'm like, okay, man.
It's just incredible too. And he's talking about how his grandfather worked with President Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah, and well,
Yeah,
that's the thing he did bring up about how pro football was looked down on. It was college football, and then afterwards was
yeah,
not supposed to be any good. And his dad tried to buy a team, and his grandfather said, "Absolutely not. I'm not going to let you do that." The Frankfurt Yellow Jackets, and then he had married a Ziegfeld Follies girl who had her own money,
mhm.
and she gave him the money to buy the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets, who now became the defending Super Bowl champion. Philadelphia Eagles. So it was amazing. 88 years old, and I may he have 88 more just for the stories. They're fantastic.
Yeah. My grandfather called me an asshole, but that's another story for another time. And it didn't leave a single scar. uh, Usually I save my rants, Evan, for not in all in, but I got a couple here. Can I
Okay,
it,
hold on. Do I need a helmet? Do I need any protective gear? Or are we going to be okay?
possibly? I mean, I don't know. One's a PSA.
Okay. Well, we start with the PSA. It's always good to do PSAs.
Okay, here's my PSA. If you're a very powerful coach
Hmm.
and you want to cheat on your wife,
Mm.
don't do it in house.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're talking about Sherrone Moore, who's just destroyed his career, his life, everything.
Hmm.
Pretty much unhireable in all football circles now.
Is he still in custody as we speak?
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, that was a whole other thing. He got home and then I mean, there was a point where he was had a knife to his own throat and all sorts of stuff.
Didn't
So
he do that not in his home, but in the person that who he cheated with?
at this point I lost track of the story. It was just
I believe that's what he did. So because
I I'm so out of college football, I wasn't sure who it was. If that puts, I mean, it's coach of Michigan. I should probably know who the coach of Michigan is, but
it's
I
no,
just don't care about college football.
no, and I always respected you for that because I think I've talked about maybe not with you, but my three-headed monster of hypocrisy because I hate being a hypocrite, and I will.
Mhm.
But I've got my three things that I know I'm a hypocrite on: FIFA, Olympics, college sports.
Mhm.
I still watch all three dutifully. I know it's dirty.
Mhm. Right. Just I wasn't making a political statement there. I'm not going to, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you
I was
can.
just gonna say, it's just interesting to give a peace prize to a guy 24 hours after he says he's going to invade another country. That's all. So
It wouldn't be the first time that the peace is not to.
probably not. But the previous guy was not necessarily a shining example of someone you want to give a peace prize to either. So
Did he get one? We're talking about the previous president.
no, I'm talking about never mind. Don't worry about it. It's
Okay.
I was going back to 1940s, 1930s. So
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That one worked out really well.
yeah.
The but here's my PSA, pretty much.
Mhm.
No matter how hot this girl is, it's not hotter than the cool ass life you've built.
Mhm.
That's pretty much it. I don't need to say any more than that. I, if Bill Belichick's looking down on you for your choices of women, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, and this happens though. I mean, Ime Udoka married to Nia Long and sleeps with the wife of one of the Celtics minority owners.
At least
Like,
that's in a weird way trying to go up.
and
This there's
it's
nothing.
hard. I'm sorry, my friend. It is hard to go up from Nia Long. But but I mean, this
I'm
happens.
talking in a power dynamic.
I get it. I
Yeah,
get
I
it.
mean, and I agree with you. I think when that all happened in real time, I think you all saw like how many people, more maybe a little closer to your age, that was their first crush.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, yeah. I had more of a Kelly Rowland thing going on, but
no one
from
ever picks the other one from Destiny's Child. But anyway,
Yeah, it was just Kelly Rowland was the best. Anyway, so yeah, that's just a very good PSI in general. Just don't do that. So
I God, and
it's a mess.
I can't say I feel bad for the guy. You did this to yourself.
No,
You did this completely to yourself, and what'd you get out of it? Well, you got to say
jail
that,
time.
yeah, jail time, and was it worth it? Probably not. She still has her job, by the way, at,
Yeah,
at Michigan. So,
yeah.
but
I
apparently
mean,
he's the one who brought the receipts because they were investigating him a year ago, like in August.
mm,
But preseason didn't find anything, and this could change by the time this goes on. But this is just from what I've read recently. Uh, she's the one who pretty much, I don't know if she ended it, but she's the one who sort of like went to the high,
administration officials.
yes, and had all the receipts, which is sort of, I guess, why he went there and said, "You ruined my life," and
Yeah,
threatened her. Then I guess threatened himself. Thankfully, he didn't do any harm to anybody. Well, physical, I should say. But
correct.
either way, what a moron. Here's my other rant. And it's not even so much a rant, it's just that of course this is gonna happen. So it's rare that my wife hits me with sports news before I know it.
Hmm.
It happened 2 nights ago. So as you know, Seattle's one of the hosts for the World Cup.
Oh yes,
I put
I
in
know.
one of, oh, you know where I'm going with this
I know
already.
exactly where you're going with this. It's the irony of this
Oh, it's
pre-planned
hysterical.
thing. It's hilarious. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so a lot of people didn't know that this is sort of happening, but I don't. Oh, by the way, I did put in something to see if I can get tickets. I'm sure I won't in the random draw. I picked Qatar versus a European team to be named later. I thought that might be my best shot.
I actually am not doing it because I'm here in Chicago, and Lori Lightfoot prioritized NASCAR over the World Cup, our former mayor. But yeah, we have a NASCAR race that goes through downtown Chicago now, and so when the bidding came up, she prioritized NASCAR and didn't want the World Cup here. But I am going to the last warm-up game for the U.S. U.S. is playing Germany at Soldier Field for the last game before the World Cup, and so
Son?
my wife and I got tickets for that.
Oh, so you and your wife, not you and your son?
It was me and my son.
Okay.
Yeah. If my wife doesn't have to go sit in this, well, she'll sit in almost any sporting event as long as I get her nachos. But this is one that my son would appreciate more. So,
Your wife should hang out with my wife when we're going to sports things because all she wants to do is roam around the stadium at
mhm.
venues and just people watch.
And she's been a World Cup qualifiers before. We went to a World Cup qualifier in the U.S. against Cuba
Hmm.
back before the 2000 and what year would have been 12 World Cup that the U.S. didn't get to go to. Um, yeah, that was US beat Cuba 6-1, I believe. Altidore had a hat trick. So we're at that RFK, the soon to be X Stadium in DC. Um, but yeah, but anyway, continue with what's happening in Seattle.
Okay, so she tells me that there's going to be a Pride game. I said,
Hmm.
"What do you mean a Pride game?" And I might have this part wrong, but I guess the Seattle officials who were helping that this portion have pre-designated
Yeah.
one game for Pride because it happens to be this day of the Pride parade that's happening in Seattle.
Hmm.
And I said to myself, because I knew what the games were, but I don't know what Pride Day is. Uh, I live in Seattle. It seems like it's every day.
Correct.
Well, seriously, Evan, if you were to visit me here and you didn't know and you weren't from the United States, and
Hmm.
you would see you would think that the American flag is rainbow because you see
Hmm.
10 times for every American flag, you see 10 rainbow flags. That's how it is.
Hmm.
Uh, and my first thought is I know which game it's going to be. You just know it because I was already pouring through the game, seeing which ones that maybe I want to try at least hang out. I don't think I'll be able to get to go to any games because of Mr. Wallet, and I can't justify that kind of money. But I can hang around and soak up the atmosphere.
Hmm.
So there's the one game, and sure enough, it's Iran versus Egypt. That's the one that's designated the Pride game, and
Correct.
it's of course it is, of course it is, and I imagine it's not like this is on FIFA's radar. If it was, they would have probably switched that
Well,
for
they're talking about switching it.
selfishly because it might be a better vibe, just because it's New Zealand,
Yeah.
Belgium, which
Yeah, New Zealand. So New Zealand and Belgium are playing in Vancouver the exact same day.
yeah.
So the difference and the other thing is that the other reason they should switch it, honestly,
Mhm.
is that the current administration in the United States has already stated that there are two countries whose fans are not going to allow to attend the game, and their games, which are Haiti and Iran.
I thought
So
oh, those two. Okay, I thought they were both Arabic, but okay, yeah.
no, it's Iran and Haiti. They're on the list of countries. So Iran would be, and their fans would be better served in terms of being able to watch the game
Mhm.
in in Vancouver. Now, the other thing is the highest population of Iranian people in the United States is in Seattle,
I read that, but I don't see it.
allegedly. I've never been, so I can't tell you.
I live here. It's I don't hear a lot of Persian, but
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I mean, I live 3 miles from the India Mile here in the United States. There are more Indian people here in the northwest suburbs of Chicago than pretty much anywhere else.
Okay.
So we actually have a sign up on Gulf Road over here that says National Indian American Mile. It's like listed. There's the Patel brothers and all sorts of Indian businesses up over there. So that's a big thing here. India and Mexico are where 90% of the people who are not born in the United States from around here that I meet are from one of those two countries.
Mhm.
Have not met, I don't think, any Iranians here in Chicago. So
Well, I think also for the interest of safety, move it.
yeah,
Uh, I hate to
there's
say that. I really hate to say that, but I think there's a lot of people, especially the younger people, who think that there's a lot of kumbaya things going on. And,
mhm.
and especially a lot of the younger lesbians I watch with the Palestinian flag, they might be in for a rude awakening.
Mm.
And
Yeah, I mean, it makes it much more likely to have the security on that's going to be significantly heavier just because. I mean, homosexuality currently in Iran, the penalty is death under their law.
Egypt, is it not also? Or is that
Egypt, I don't know off the top of my head, but I
okay?
know Iran is. So yeah, and here's my mini rant, I guess, off of your mini rant here.
Yes.
This is something that we knew was going to happen, but when the organizers of this World Cup came through, they said that they were going to have tickets as low as $21 for games and you go up to 400, whatever. I think for Qatar, I believe the most expensive tickets at all were $1,200 for anything at the last World Cup. These games are insane for the pricing on them. And I know that they're like, hey, there's an opportunity to make the money back or whatever. But there's a whole bunch of people who are protesting now FIFA demanding they lower the prices on this stuff because they're using dynamic pricing and they're using AI, where if you are from, say, the Bay Area and you want to try and go to a game, they're charging you more than someone going to a game in the Bay Area from, say, rural Texas because they think you have more money.
I didn't know that.
There's all sorts of AI weird stuff they're using in dynamic pricing and things along those lines. Um, I mean, we all knew it was coming. FIFA is one of the most corrupt organizations in the world. FIFA makes NCAA seem like angels.
Mhm.
So we'll see exactly what happens. But yeah, the cost of this is crazy. I mean, the tickets I got for the USA Germany, that's run by the US national team, right? And it's expensive because it's the World Cup, right? But I went to a USA Jamaica match, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago with my son, and the tickets were about $45 for the lower bowl at Soldier Field. This is World Cup last game for World Cup qualifying. It's the only game that's going to happen with the U.S. in Chicago. It was $60 for like an upper balcony thing, which is, close to twice what I'd expect it to be normally, but not crazy. If you want to go to the game with your kid, $120, not crazy. That same ticket, though, essentially for, one of the World Cup games, that $60 ticket, we're talking 450 at this point, and it's insane. So,
I managed to, well, there's a portal for hospitality. So Pauline being in my wife being in hospitality. So like that lowered it to 180 if we get
hmm,
it or upper. I'm not counting on it. I'm sure that's not going to happen. US versus Australia on a Friday. I'm going to be in that area. That's
yeah,
a
might as well.
party.
Yeah, it was like when the 99 home run derby happened. There was no way I was going to be able to pay for that ticket, but it sure as hell could stand on Lansdowne Street and try and catch a baseball. So they went over the wall at Fenway Park for that. So the winner of which, by the way, Ken Griffey Jr., just got elected to our Hall of Fame.
By all of
Um,
you, by the way, you did all that.
what?
No, all of you, everybody.
Oh yeah, you guys. Yes, I was like, I didn't do it.
I
He would have been higher than ninth if I did it. So um, yeah, it was. I mean, there's nothing we can expect otherwise. But anyway, so we should get some Hall of Fame news. Those were actually pretty tame rants by you. They're like both completely.
uh yeah, I in my head this morning they were a little bit more vocal, but
I just have this calming effect on you. That's what it
I
is.
guess so. Yeah, I mean, like I was gonna be a little dirtier and whatnot, and just but no, I just didn't. I guess I just wasn't feeling it at the moment. Maybe Coca-Cola is calming my nerves. Coke tends to
Mhm.
do that, I hear. Uh, and no, okay, I thought that was mildly funny. Uh, yes, we there is some major news in the Baseball Hall of Fame, and it's very clear. It is very clear. PED users do not apply.
Line has been drawn.
Yeah, we had our baseball roundup where we sort of had our big discussions on this. A lot of us are more pro Bonds and Clemens, and clearly the people who were deciding this, Jeff Kent, the only person to get in. I'm happy at least somebody got in.
Yeah, it would have been. I'm glad somebody's off the ballot and the backlog is released by a little bit. I'd have been happier if they had gotten either Mattingly or Murphy, or I guess it's shocking to me Delgado was second.
Very, yeah, very surprising. He finished with 9 votes. Kent
He needed
14.
so you needed 12 out of 16.
Yeah,
Just so everybody knows. He got
and
nine.
Mattingly, my other surprise that he went from 8 the last time he was on this ballot to 6.
Mhm.
Not quite sure how that
And
happened, but he just
Murphy also at 6.
Murphy also at 6. Yes, but it's very clear that with the 4 people who got five or less, we don't know what they got. There was only 14 votes that you could have possibly spread.
Mhm.
So it would not be surprised to me if Bonds and Clemens got 0 out of that whole lot because you don't even have to vote for 3.
Correct.
So in theory,
Well, I mean, I think it's more likely Bonds or Clemens got one than Sheffield did.
that's very possible.
Sheffield, I can absolutely guarantee you, given the way that this happened, got 0 votes.
Well, yeah,
So the
but
question is there anyone there who would have given Clemens or it's much more likely if someone's not does not have a problem with PEDs, Clemens or Bonds would have gotten a vote from them over Sheffield.
yeah, no, I would certainly agree with that. I said it before when we did our roundup, but it's more clear now. I mean, I suggested that this would be the case, but when I looked at the people who they chose for this, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, these were not the peers of Bonds and Clemens, and even
Correct.
God, they weren't. Uh,
Correct.
three guys over 80. Not to make a generalization, because we just gloat about Upton Bell and how much I
Yeah.
would love to hang out with him, but I don't think he's that guy who's got the pants up to here saying "Get off my lawn." He's
Right.
moving forward in life.
But I mean, these are the contemporaries of Joe Morgan, who
Absolutely.
is who is one of the most anti-steroids guys in the history of anti-steroids guys.
Mhm.
And then I'm not mocking Morgan for this in any way, shape, or form. One of the greatest
No,
players of all time. He actually, by the way, Joe Morgan is one of the people who are adding to our initial ballot for people to vote on coming up this year.
okay.
Um, so we have 4 new baseball players. It's Morgan, Boggs, Cap Anson, and Tim Keefe from pre-1900s.
Those will be the
Are the
four.
four,
Okay.
they're the 4 new ones.
All right. We should do a show on that, on who's on the ballot.
Yeah, we will get that out. I'm gonna have everything with pictures, an official picture ballot for you coming up here, and so we can have everything, and we'll go from there.
We're not going to do it on.
We do it online too, but yeah, we'll talk about it offline.
Yeah, we'll figure
But
it out.
you'll have everything ready to go. But Morgan was very anti whatever, which again, who I can't remember. Somebody else said something about this weekend, another Hall of Famer, and I can't remember who it was. God, I wish I remember. Said that if it's entirely possible if he were in that era, he'd be doing it too. And God, I wish I remember which Hall of Famer it was who had said it this week. Um, but a lot of the guys, when Morgan was playing, were doing greenies. We know they were doing greenies,
Mhm.
right? Which is another performance enhancer. Um, and so it's interesting because of that. I think that we're not going to be in a situation in which Bonds or Clemens or McGuire or Sosa or Palmero or Manny Ramirez, even Alex Rodriguez are ever going to get in until there's people who are 20 years younger than who's voting now. You
Mhm.
get to the point where you have Pedro Martinez on this, or you have, not that Pedro is necessarily going to be someone, or you have David Ortiz, or you have guys in their 40s and 50s now,
Right.
25 years from now, who are be like, this is stupid. Why are they still not in?
Mhm.
Or it's going to take A-Rod getting somehow in over on the ballot.
Which won't happen.
Probably not.
Although, if I'm a writer, right, and I'm seeing this, because it's pretty damn clear to me, and I'm sure it is to a lot of the baseball writers who have these votes, that the hall itself does not want a PED person in. This is why they changed it from 15 years to 10 years.
Right.
I I said that then, I say it now. This was to get
Yeah.
these people off. What else did they change? Now it's 5 instead. It used to be 3 and under, and you wouldn't know how they finished. Now it's 5 and under. You don't know what they finished. Oh, and by the way, 2 strikes and you're out.
Yeah.
This is, and they're thinking because if you put on the next ballot, because you can't put Bonds and Clemens on the next one.
Correct. So let's just go over those rules quickly again for
Yeah,
people who
please.
weren't aware. So there are 8 people who are on the ballot. You need at least 5 votes in order to stay on the ballot for next year. You got more than 12, you got in the Hall of Fame. Between 5 and 11, you got to stay on the ballot for next time it comes up. It's not next year, it's 3 years from now
Mhm.
because they go on a 3-year cycle with everything. And anyone who got below 5 cannot be on that ballot. If they can be on the ballot after. So this is a 2026 ballot. They can't be on 2029. They can be on 2032. If they get on 2032, or say they don't get on 2032, say for whatever reason they decide to split Clemens and Bonds, but one in 2032 and one in 2035, either of those situations, If the person does not get at least 5 votes, they are apparently, at least under the current rules, done. Now they can always change those rules in the future. They change the rules all the freaking time,
Oh, they
right?
will once they get rid of those.
Yeah. So I'm sure they 100% will. But um, yeah, but getting rid of people permanently, the whole purpose of this is so they don't not dealing with this 20 years from now, which is hilarious because guess what they're going to be dealing with 20 years from now? It's the whole we're going to sweep this under the rug situation. And I'm going to come out again and say it for the 400th time. My argument on this is very similar to yours. As soon as you put testing in place, if you got busted at that point,
Mhm.
no, I have no problem keeping you out. Those are the rules. Sorry, A-Rod. Sorry, Manny Ramirez. Like you got busted on it, right? I no issues there. Prior to that, it was not tested for, and it's let's be honest, it was somewhat encouraged.
It was very much encouraged until a surly black man was doing it and beat everybody.
Correct. It's
Uh,
exactly what happened. Because again, I was around, I was in college in 1998. I was a freshman in college. No, the sophomore in college. The
mhm,
year the home run chase between Sosa and McGuire was going on.
mhm.
Right. It's 27 years ago now. One of the writers, and I can't remember who, saw the Andro on the
Yeah,
top
yeah, yeah, yeah.
shelf of McGuire's locker,
Mhm,
like just there, not hidden, just sitting there,
mhm.
asked about it, and was excoriated by the same people who are refusing to vote for McGuire now.
Yeah, he was the villain.
Yeah, he was the villain in that story, right? So, and the other thing that I think you and I both agree on, the moment that Bud Selig gets in and Joe Torre
Mhm.
and Bobby Cox and particularly Tony La Russa,
Yep.
the, mo-
LaRusso.
the moment those guys get in, you can say the same thing because at some point Tito Francona is going to retire and Francona is going to get in the Hall of Fame right away.
Mhm.
Right? And I'm a Red Sox fan. Don't tell me the Red Sox win the '04 title without Manny Ramirez.
Absolutely. And
Right?
to your point though too, a lot of writers agreed with you, especially on Selig, because when Selig went in, I believe Bonds and Clemens had their biggest jump.
Yeah.
There were writers that came out and said, "Well, fine, if that's who openly said that you're putting in Selig, okay, then this bar just no longer exists for me."
Yeah. The coaches get the benefit of the wins from the players who they're banning for doing stuff. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I love Cal Ripken Jr., right? But once Cal Ripken's streak was over, the home run ball is what brought baseball fans back in the late 90s after the 1994 strike.
Yeah, I for me the Cal Ripken thing, as much as I am a fan of Cal Ripken, it really didn't reinvigorate me. It's like, oh well, okay, well he's just playing. What if he sucks? you know?
I get it, but
Yeah,
that was what baseball had coming out of the strike,
sure. The home run chase, absolutely. But then,
and Albert Bell running over Fernando Vina, like that's like what we had coming out of there. I mean, the Braves win the World Series, and the Marlins win the World Series, and then got rid of all their guys, and then all of a sudden we had a home run chase, right? Well, the Yankees won the '96 series, right? And then they would win 98, 99, 2000. But like then we had the home run chase, which and the rise of the Yankees, which is what brought baseball back. There was no longer the Yankees of Roberto Kelly. No offense to Roberto Kelly, but when he's your best player, you got a problem.
yeah.
Um, so the idea that they are being punished for saving the sport is insane. I'm sorry. You can't say whatever you want about it. If you kept Selig out and Torrey and Cox and all the coaches who had these guys on their team and LaRussa, I keep skipping LaRussa. LaRussa should be number one among them, right? LaRussa's entire career is built off McGuire and Canseco.
Hmm.
Then he goes to St. Louis, and who does he have? McGuire again.
Hmm.
None of those should count if this is what we're doing. He had Sosa in well, no, he didn't have Sosa
No.
in the White Sox. I apologize. It was pre that. Let me back that off. We can cut that later, which we never do. Um, but yeah, but
not
like
because I don't know how.
It's just laziness. There's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate it. I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's ridiculous to me. Now, here's a question coming out of this, because I think you and I agree.
Mhm.
Who's the biggest beneficiary of those four guys being gone? By the way, the other person who has no contact to anything, who is also on the ballot and fell off for now, is Fernando Valenzuela. My guess is, by the way, Fernando has at least 2 or 3 votes out of this group. If Delgado got 9, Valenzuela got 3. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Valenzuela fell off, which I think is fine for him. It's even great that he was on the ballot. So next year we got 8, or 3 years from now, we got 8 spots, right? So we'll still have Delgado. We'll still have uh, we'll still have Mattingly. We'll still have Dale Murphy.
Okay.
Do you think they'll go put Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire on this ballot
Yes, for the same reason, just to
to
get rid.
try and get them out too? So here's the thing though.
Mhm.
I don't think McGuire necessarily falls off anymore.
You think he's done sort of enough goodwill work as a hitting coach?
McGuire's done some penance. He's come back. He's talked about it. He's become a hitting coach. He's back involved with baseball. He's kept a low profile. Sosa went and dyed his skin crazy colors and has gone nuts, although the Cubs have forgiven him for whatever the heck they thought he did. Um, but I still, that was one of the biggest weird things to me, that Sosa wasn't allowed around the Cubs. It didn't make any sense. And they had to apologize to the Ricketts family somehow when I got out here. Um,
My understanding is though he went full diva, but
well,
wouldn't be the first big star to do that.
my
I,
God, Star
I,
going full diva. Ah,
I
no.
well, there was that one story that like when he left that game early, the final game
Oh,
of
yeah.
his career, which was that's a Bush League thing to do. But
Yeah,
he left his boombox and allegedly his teammates or one of his teammates
destroyed.
after it destroyed it to a rousing ovation
Yeah.
with club out. So possibly there's maybe more to it. And either way, yeah, I guess we're getting off topic because you asked me who I thought was going to benefit the most.
Yeah, or yeah, does this help Mattingly? Does this help Murphy?
I think, well, obviously it helps Delgado the most because somehow
No, absolutely.
there's gonna when you get up this high, it can only help you. You're gonna clear off then presumably in the next 2 cycles or 3, 4 cycles rather. You're gonna get rid of Bonds, you're gonna get rid of Clemens, you're gonna get rid of Sheffield because that's what they want, and then they're gonna get rid of Ramirez and I still think they're going to get rid of McGuire. I don't think they're going to see.
And Sosa absolutely is not
Oh,
going
it's
to
like
make it.
yes. So
And
that
and Omar Vizquel for opposite reasons. So
yeah, and he never addressed this at all, did he?
no.
Okay, I didn't think so. But I think the biggest winner is somebody who will appear on the next ballot, Lou Whitaker. Because if you've got Jeff Kenton,
Yes.
Lou Whitaker, who is I don't has he ever been on a senior ballot?
I don't. Yeah, he must have at some point. I don't have a
I
recollection of that.
don't recall. Uh,
I should go back. I don't have a spreadsheet right now of senior ballots. I should go back and do that. I
no,
did create a spreadsheet of the Ford Frick Award, which we can talk about later.
yeah, I'm gonna look that up really quick while you're.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's my thing though. If Carlos Delgado is gonna get in the next time, Murphy, Mattingly,
Mhm.
Whitaker, I mean, Kenson, Bobby Grich, he's got to be someone who
I, I
who
would
surfaces again.
I would
Uh,
think that Whitaker would be higher on that. Okay, yeah, Whitaker was on a veterans ballot here.
okay.
Um, damn it, the thing is just now throwing me off here. Sorry, I got to put on the Charles Nelson Riley glasses. 2020, he had 37.5%.
Yeah, so he should be back. Dewey Evans should be back.
Yeah.
Kenny Lofton.
Okay, yeah, that's the only, thank God. Well, I shouldn't say thank God. That sounds awful because we both are fans of Kenny Lofton getting into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And I think it was a criminal one and done. I'm just saying thank God because I'm getting killed in our bet already.
It's only 2-0, man.
2-0, and then I find out that it's not just for one beer; it's for like a whole division of beers. And I can't drink the way I'm noticing. I can't drink the way I used to. And
No, you should have picked better.
yeah, and my Jericho thing's not looking good either because it looks like he's
It isn't?
no. Well, it looks like he's going to come back, but if Cena's retiring, aren't you just going to give it to John? Put John Cena as your headliner and then save
I
Jericho
mean,
for later?
that makes a lot of sense. So just so you know what he's talking about, back in October,
Yeah.
we picked uh, 16 and ended up being 17 people for various halls of fame who we thought were going to get in this year. So far of the 17, four of mine have been determined. Kenny Lofton did not get in. The Slide did not get into the Toy Hall of Fame. But I did get Roger Federer from tennis and Jeff Kent from baseball. And your two who have not gotten in, Pete Rose, who's just going to be on your team till he gets in, because he wasn't even eligible for this ballot. He'll be eligible next year or the year after. I can't
Well, he
remember.
would have been. I mean, it depends on how they looked at it. And
Technically,
I, I,
I think he's a pre
it's through.
1980 player.
I didn't think it through, bluntly.
Yeah, and then the other one was Serena Williams, who we weren't sure was eligible. She will be eligible next year.
Yeah,
They
and when you
like
put Federer, right? It's like I
yeah.
thought,
Why do Federer and Serena the same year when you can do Federer if
yeah.
there's a question, do Federer 1 year, Serena the next, get people both
To
years
be
through all
fair, this was my advisor.
that.
For those just listening, it's now a shot of Winnie the Mini Dachshund, who
Who's
is looking as
look,
derpy as ever.
looking very confused as to why she's on screen.
Uh,
But anyway,
same look
yeah.
she always gets.
So yeah, we got some still coming up. I mean, we're all still good on our football ones. You got Breeze, Belichick, and Kuechly. I got Larry Fitzgerald, Bob Kraft, and Roger Craig. So the three of the six who we weren't sure about, which is
You
Belichick,
know
Kraft,
what?
and Craig, are all still going.
Uh, if you win, and we're just sort of like going by how you won, I'll be very happy to buy that Roger Craig beer.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Me too.
that one. I mean, I might make that one a Boilermaker for you. We'll throw in a shot of Jack in that just to make it, because that would make that very
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah. So we're coming up on the time period here. So I mean, I think you got me in basketball, and baseball is you got a pretty good chance too. So
Oh,
we'll
we'll
see
see.
as we go
We'll
forward.
see. We'll see. So yeah, there's more baseball Hall of Fame news, and I haven't really covered that anywhere. So we've got two more inductees that they don't always get the same due, but they're going to be at the ceremony and they're part of it.
There are. So let's start with the Baseball Writer of America Association Award, which used to be the Taylor Spink Award, until they realized, I don't know, a whole bunch of years later that Spink was very pro segregation. But so it goes to Paul
Sadly,
Hoyt.
that's never stopped them from inducting people.
Well, I mean, Spink was the first person who won the award, which is why it's named after
I
him.
know, I'm just being a
Yeah, I know. I get it. But Paul Hoynes, who's been for, I think, 46 years a writer in Cleveland. So there were 407 ballots. So the way that this works is 407 ballots are cast by the BBWAA members who have at least 10 or more consecutive years of service. So everybody gets to basically vote for one. Two of the ballots were blank because there are always two a-holes, and no matter what you do when you do balloting. But 177 of the 407 ballots went to Hoynes, who's been covering stuff for Cleveland. She covered 6,000 Major League games, has the most bylines in the history of the Cleveland Plain Dealer. So, um, yeah, so he is a very uh, worthy person to get this. Second place, by the way, is was Scott Miller, who covered baseball for 30 years before he died back in June. So he had 128 votes. And third place was actually Tom Verducci from
okay.
the Sports Illustrated MLB Network. He got 100 of the votes. So out of the 407, 177, 128, and 100, that gives us what, 398 plus 7. So that's 400 and yeah, plus 2. So those are the three finalists there, the top three people. So, but yeah, Hoynes absolutely deserving and good to see. He's also a member of the Cleveland Journalism Hall of Fame and was once president of the BBWAA. Um, it was on the stage when Cal Ripken was inducted to the Baseball Hall of Fame that year. So they would say in the announcement, it's great that the Hall of Fame reporter was on the stage with the Hall of Fame or the Iron Man reporter is going on with the Iron Man player. But congratulations, Paul Hoynes. Um, the other one for the still called the Ford Frick Award is a little interesting to me. So Ford Frick goes now again on a. It's gone through various permutations over the years. They changed it in 2022 to having 4 years in a row of modern folks or people who are still covering the game. And then the fifth year is going to be people whose careers ended pre-wild card, so pre-1994, right? So this is the fourth year in a row that they've had the current folks, and then the next year will be the old timers. Um, but so 2023 was Pat Hughes, 2024, a guy near and dear to my heart, Joe Castiglione in Boston, Tom Hamilton in 2025, and the second youngest person ever to win the Ford Frick Award, and someone who didn't think he was going to get it at this point, Joe Buck
Mhm.
won the award. This is his fourth time on the ballot. Um, First was back in 2018, so he was on the 2018, uh, 2021, 2024, and 2026 ballot. But he is the Ford Frick Award winner for broadcasting in his fourth attempt at the Apples. No one, the other folks on here, uh, the chic of the ballot, Jacques Doucette, he covered the Montreal Expos for years and years and years. This is his 10th time on the ballot, still not in. Gary Cohen on his sixth, Rene Cardenas on his fourth. I'm sorry, Dwayne Kuiper on his fifth, Rene Cardenas on his fourth, Dan Schulman on his third, Skip Carey on his second. His dad, of course, has also won. John Sterling, it's an A-bomb for A-Rod, uh, is his second. And first timers John Rooney and Brian Anderson were on here. But Buck wins fourth time, and he and his father become the first ever father and son duo ever to win the Ford Frick Award. So next year, like I said, they're going to go to old timers. So last time the old timers stuff, Jack Graney won back in 2022. So the other people on the ballot that year were Pat Flanagan, Wait Hoyt, France Lowe, Laux. I'm guessing that's Lowe, Lau. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Rosie Rosewell, Hal Totten, Ty Tyson, and Bert Wilson. Ty Tyson, by the way, was second that last time. Uh, don't ask me who Ty Tyson was. I just happened to see it in the reporting when I put my spreadsheet together. Um, so we'll have an old timer next time. By the way, the people who vote on this, again, it's 16 people. It's a 13 living members of the living award winners plus three historians. So it's Hamilton, Castiglione, Pat Hughes, Al Michaels was one of them. Ken Hawk Harrelson, Bob Costas, um, Tom Cheek, Eric Nadel, I think. I can't remember who else these folks are still. John Miller, still going, but a lot of these folks are who have won this award are no longer with us. So, so there you go. Yeah, and I have a spreadsheet. They have all the finalists back to 2012. Prior to that, they didn't tell us who those finalists were. So that means that Mr. Doucette has been on the ballot since 2012, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. On 15 ballots that he could have been on, minus three that three he couldn't have been on because of the way they did it. He's been on 10 of the 12 and still hasn't gotten in.
Well,
There's no love for the Expos.
well, he also did it in French. So it's not like a lot of these people can go back and listen to his work and say, you know what, that I really loved his call here. Because we have to assume that they know French.
Well, here's the thing. The current rules have at least one of the people who they nominate has to be in a foreign language.
Really?
Yeah. So looking at this list, though, I'm guessing Rene Cardenas, I believe. Hold on a second. I don't want to say something incorrect, but he meets the thing. Yeah, Rene Cardenas is the Latin American announcer for the um, Dodgers. He was the first Spanish language announcer. He's 95 years old. They should probably get him in.
That seemed like it would be an easier push in the United States.
Yeah.
I would
So
think.
he's a member of the Hispanic Heritage Baseball Museum. Yeah, it's a third. This is his third time. Finals in 2011, 12, and 25 in the Astros Hall of Fame. Was play-by-play for the Dodgers, Astros, and Rangers
Mhm.
from when did he start? 1958 through 2007, 2008. So yeah, but yeah, Rene Cardenas, you should probably get him in pretty soon here. At 95 years old, who knows how much longer he's going to be around for it.
Yeah, and I guess I think Joe Buck's a great. I know a lot of people don't like him. He always seems to trend a lot whenever he's broadcasting something, and usually the people of X aren't so kind. I like Joe Buck. I don't think of him as a baseball guy first at
Well,
all.
he's also won the broadcasting award for football.
Yeah,
So he's now in both halls of fame.
yeah, and which is fine. I guess that might be why some people might be going, "Huh." That's the
Mhm.
only thing I can sort of think of. But there's no rule that says you have to be dedicated to baseball.
No, that is true. That said, I mean, Cardenas is one. Jacques Doucette's 85. Um, he's somebody else who I think they should get in. But honestly, if we're not doing the foreign language ones, I think Dwayne Kuiper is the
Mhm.
guy who I would be voting for over everybody else. His fifth time in the ballot. Gary Cohen's also very good, but Kuiper is somebody who I've particularly enjoyed. And his partner, John Krukow, has been nominated. Sorry, not John,
Mike
Mike.
Krupke. Yeah.
Sorry, Mike Krukow has been nominated 4 times himself. He
Mhm.
wasn't on this ballot, but he's been on a few here as well. But yeah, I mean, Hughes, Castiglione, Hamilton, and Buck is a pretty good foursome if you're going to do it in a row. You know what I mean? Those are four good
Cool.
people to get in. So. So,
Okay.
so I have on the baseball stuff. Any other Hall of Fame stuff before we go to the folks we've lost?
Nothing big. I think we should because we still have some people left over who we haven't talked about, I think.
That is true.
So
We did talk about the IIHF Hall of Fame. Just so you know, that happened. Patrice Bergeron's in, and a whole bunch of people. If you're into Swiss hockey, you can go
this is
look
the
it up.
ballot for you.
Yeah, it's a ballot for you. But yeah, so those, if you're interested, go ahead and check it out. We didn't think it was worth enough time other than to say
It's gonna
it does not count. I do have Patrice Bergeron on my Hall of Fame count, but
you
it's
know,
for the actual Hall of Fame, not IIHF. So
I think from December to December, it's going to be a very good 12 months of accolades for Mr. Bergeron.
yeah, he's going to have a lot. So Chara's numbers being retired in January by the Bruins, and I'm guessing that Bergeron gets inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame, and then next year Bergeron's number goes up.
Yeah,
I will,
when they hang that in the rafters, I think Chara could still reach it.
yeah, Charles is going to put it up there himself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Bergeron's not that problem. Yeah, and another one I'll call it now. Um, David Pastrnak scored his 403rd and 404th goals last night against your Winnipeg Jets. Um,
Yeah, I saw.
but he is now moved into fifth place all time in scoring in Bruins history, passing Rick Middleton. The next guy in front of him is some guy named what was his name again? The little ball of hate plays in Florida now. Uh,
Uh,
yeah. So Brad Marchand's next. After him is Bergeron, and then we get into Neely and Esposito. So he will also have his number up in the rafters when the time comes here. So anyway, okay. So going to the folks we've lost. Again, it's only been a week, but the Beige Mistress has been busy again.
what did she do this time?
Erzsébet Szajbak. That's the best Polish. Sorry, the best Hungarian I can do. It's Erzse with an accent Bet. Erzsébet Csajbo with an accent K. Szajbak is the best I can do. I'm sure I'm very very bad. But she won bronze medal at the 76 games in team handball, as well as silver at the 82 World Championships in Hungary and bronze in the 75 and 78 World Championships. But she passed at the age of 72. You say it's someone dying of old age. We say there's an obvious serial killer that we're the only people who notice.
Absolutely.
All right, other folks who passed away. Do you want to bring up two women of distinction? Beverly Burns passed away at the age of 76, the first ever licensed pilot for a major airline. So
Hmm.
a major airline carrier. She was Continental Airlines captain, first woman to pilot these the 747. She passed away at the age of 76. Also passing away, let me just find it, Viola Fletcher, known as Mother Fletcher, the last surviving, the oldest known living member of the Tulsa Race Massacre.
Oh, I saw
The
that.
Tul-
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that Tulsa Race Massacre happened uh, in 1921. She was 7. She died at the age of 111 years old. So we had talked about that being ancient history. Uh, there's still people who are around for it here, sticking around. So
Hmm.
Godspeed to Mother Fletcher. All right, also passing away, Lee Tamahori, the director of Along Came a Spider, Die Another Day, Devil's Double, things along those lines. He passed away at the age of 75. Um, uh, Dan, uh, Daniel Woodrell, who did Winter's Bone, the writer of Winter's Bone, among other things. He passed away at the age of 72. Also passing away, writer at only the age of 55, Sophie Kinsella, who wrote all those shopaholic books, Confessions of a Shopaholic.
Mhm.
She died of cancer at the age of 55.
Hmm. Okay.
David Madelon, who founded TriStar Pictures, also was one of the people who did Heat, LA Confidential, Fight Club, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, among the other things. He's the person who greenlit them. He passed the age of 82. Uh, Udo Kier, who I think I just saw in a commercial for a video game earlier today. He passed away at the age of 81. Character actor, appeared in 220 films. If there's like a weird European dude,
Oh, okay. I know who it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was in a bunch of horror movies. Wasn't he in Ace Ventura?
I believe he was. Hold on. Yes, he was. He was Ace Ventura. He was Ron Camp. But he was everything from like he was the NASA flight psychologist in Armageddon. He was in Johnny Mnemonic. He was in Barbed Wire.
Never saw that.
Like 220 things. He's one of those guys like, oh, it's that guy, even though he had no idea what his name was. But he passed away. He was actually his last film was The Secret Agent, which is probably getting nominated for an Oscar here. He passed away at the age of 81. Um, and that leaves me with also one of those actors in Milach's, another one of those in a lot of things, particularly the kung fu movies. You also maybe know him from Man in the High Castle, and probably best as Shang Tsung from the Mortal Kombat franchise. Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa. He passed away at the age of 75. But the biggest person outside of what we do passed away since we talked about this last, it's been a little bit. Tom Stoppard, the great playwright, passed away at the age of 88. Someone once said about Stopper, he's like, other than your good looks, your way with women, your writing talent, there's nothing about you that I envy. And they said the most crazy thing about Stoppard is he was good at everything and nobody ever hated him for it. But a heck of a playwright. Um, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead is probably what brought him up there, but he also did Brazil and Empire of the Sun, Billy Bathgate, Shakespeare in Love, Enigma, all sorts of stuff. But he passed away at the age of 88. Okay. From golf, we have a couple folks, starting with Judy Bell, uh, golf administrator who was inducted Golf Hall of Fame in Lifetime Achievement category in 2001. She passed away at the age of 89. She's a member of 11 separate halls of fame, uh, which is only 10 more than me. I was inducted into my town's off the step Hall of Fame as a fifth grader. So there you go.
Huh.
We throw a tennis ball out of step and people have to try and catch it, or if it hits the fence, you got singles and doubles. It's a very complicated game, but we had a Hall of Fame and I got
You got me
inducted.
beat by one.
There we go. Um, Another guy who put his foot in his mouth and pretty much ruined his life, Fuzzy Zeller,
Yeah.
passed away at the age of 74. Won the 1979 Masters, uh, which was his first time ever was the third golfer ever to win the first, the Masters the first time he was in it. I don't know why I couldn't say that correctly. Uh, Also won the 84 US Open, probably unfortunately most remembered for his
Mhm.
comments on Tiger Woods that if he wins the tournament, he hopes they don't serve chicken and watermelon here next year. Fried chicken and watermelon. And he honestly spent a lot of the rest of his life apologizing for it. Um,
It did. Like when I read that he died, uh, sometimes we'll talk about obituary moments. The first thing I thought of is, I wonder how much they're going to dedicate to that. And so I only read the one biography that was on ESPN, and that took no time at all. That was in, I think, paragraphs 3 to 7,
mhm.
dedicated to that. And it was one of those things where, I don't know, man. Some people of that generation just never learned to change vernacular.
Yep.
Was Fuzzy a racist? I don't know. Because he said something that was off color, well, probably to other black people many times, I'm sure.
Mhm.
But times were changing and he didn't change with it. And it's sort of it's a shame, a, that he said it, obviously, but b, that was something that he became more synonymous for. And like, even when we're talking about that now, when he died, that was the first thing I thought of. I didn't think about his wins. I didn't think about the fact that, my god, that's one of the that's an amazing name to have as an athlete,
Yeah.
Fuzzy's. And
Yeah.
but that is what he's known for being a good old boy. And I'm sure, I mean, there were a whole lot of people who were out there defending him at the time, and I do remember that, which is usually a good sign of a good heart. But it just became, I don't want to say bigger than it should, because I mean, whenever racism comes, you got to call it out. I think he took, if he's the guy I think he is, and I think the beating he took was far too great.
Yeah, so here
I
he's also a guy who won. So the sport of golf's highest honor
Yeah.
is the Bob Jones Award,
Okay.
which is given every year for distinguished sportsmanship in golf. So people who have won this before are Babe Dickinson Zaharias, Patty Berg, actually Joe Carr,
Mhm.
um, Jack Nicklaus, Ben Hogan, Bing Crosby, and Bob Hope, actually, uh,
Okay.
Tom
Yeah.
Tom Kite, Tom Watson, Judy Bell, who I just mentioned, who passed away as well, has won it. Nancy Lopez, Tiger Woods, Julie Inkster, Annika Sorenstam, like Mickey Wright, like some of the biggest names in the history of golf. Gene
Mhm.
Sarazen, Betsy Rawls, Brian Nelson, folks like that. So he's a guy who was very highly thought of. This is kind of a who's who of who mattered in golf since 1955. One person wins it a year, except when they gave it to Bing Crosby and Bob Hope together in
Mhm.
1978. But like one person wins it every year, and that's it. And Zeller was somebody who won that as a young man in 1985. So in 85, he was only 34 years old,
Is it like a man of the year slash
essentially.
achievement award, something like that?
It's like man, yeah, essentially man of the year or woman of the year,
Okay.
person of the year. Because a lot of women have won that award as well.
Okay.
Um, Like I said, I think Babe Didrikson won the third time
Well, no,
he's
but
ever.
I was trying to like equate it to the Walter Payton Man of the Year. So
Sort of, yeah. It's a slightly different level because I think Walter Payton also has a lot more to do with what you do in the community than the Bob Jones Award. Bob Jones is more what you're doing on the golf course and how everybody else feels about you and stuff like that. But Zeller did win that award in '85, right? So he was a very highly thought of person within golf. Well, if you get that in your 30s, like most of those other folks are getting it late in their careers, right? I mean, Tiger didn't even win it till last year.
mhm.
Um, and he's, as I've said, going to turn 50 here in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? His birthday's the
Yeah.
30th of December of 75. Um, so it's tough. Um, Sometimes you just, I don't know. I can't speak for Zeller. I don't know about him. It's a tough legacy to leave behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So on for golf, we'll go to curling. One
Hmm.
of the great curlers in history in Canada, Colleen Jones, passed away at the age of 65. Two-time gold medalist in the World Championships. Um, for Canada. Uh, yeah, so I know you're a big Canadian curling fan, but
No. I am I used to work with someone who was like one shot away from making the Olympics. I don't know how she's doing now. When you're out of Canada, like you're not seeing curling on TV,
mm.
like you would
But
in
we actually have it on TV here.
what
You
like
you you watch curling on some of there. I can't remember what it is, but there's Curling Night in America, one of the sports stations. Yeah, legitimately. I watched it last year. I haven't seen it this year yet, but I watched it last year several times. I was doing other things. It's great to have on in the background. You don't have to pay any attention. You can be doing something else with curling on the background for background noise and just look up every once in a while, like, oh, that's a real nice shot. Um,
okay.
so, but anyway, okay. From the world of auto racing, Michael Annett passed away at the age of 39, ran 106 races over 3 years in NASCAR. I don't know what he passed of. It didn't say, but he was 39 years old. From tennis, Peter Angeli passed away at the age of 92. Member of the lots of Italian national teams for Davis Cups and things along those lines. Won a Grand Slam doubles title at the French in 59 and a mixed doubles at a 58, as well as singles at the French in 59 and 60. He passed away at the age of 92. From baseball, I guess I'll put him here in baseball. Biggest name I'd say passed away in baseball is Tom Hicks, the former owner of the Texas Rangers, as well as Liverpool, I believe. What did he own?
Oh, did he?
Uh,
Okay. I didn't know
no,
that.
he owned. Hold on. Yeah, Liverpool. So Tom Hicks passed away at the age of 79 years old. Another guy born in 46. The people from 46 rule the world. Um, we got Clinton, Trump, Bush the second. All those folks are all born in 46, and Tom Hicks as well, but he passed away at the age of 79. Also passed away, Helen Waddell, baseball player for the All-American Girls Professional League, played outfield and utility infield. She passed away at the age of 95. So played for the Rockford Peaches and the South Bend Blue Sox, although she never actually played for the Blue Sox. She was traded to the Peaches. Also played for the Springfield Sallies and the Battle Creek Bells. So you go. Not, let's say, not many of them left around either.
Huh. I
Um,
wonder though if they're gonna if they're gonna bring some of them out because I saw that they just did the first pro league draft for the on women's.
yeah, I don't know.
I
They
mean,
could.
I got to assume that whoever's doing their marketing has to be reaching out to who's ever left. If not, you're an idiot. Like,
Yeah, you'd
what
be
the
very dumb not to.
yeah.
Um, all right, from the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, Bill Slack, who spent 50 years at minor league level in the Braves and Red Sox organizations. He passed away at the age of 92. Uh, Also, George Altman, who played three-time All-Star in 61 and 62, although in 61 they had two All-Star games in 61, 62. So he's an All-Star in 61, All-Star in 62, but only 2 years, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But he played for the Cubs, uh, Cardinals, Mets, and through from 59 to 67, and had a decent career over in Japan as well. But he passed away at the age of 92. A one-time All-Star in 1967, Steve Hargan passed away at the age of 83, played with the Indians, Rangers, Blue Jays, and Braves from 65 to 77 as a mainly reliever. And then from Boston, man who pitched a no-hitter in 1965, Dave Moorhead, passed away at the age of 82, played with the Red Sox and Royals from 63 to 70, was on that miracle 67 team that rebuilt the Red Sox as a team people cared about. Everyone forgets that after Williams retired in 1960, the Red Sox were awful, and they always talk the miracle 69 Mets, but the 67 Red Sox, who also did not win the World Series, but got there against the Cardinals, were as important to bringing the Red Sox back to prominence as anything. But Moorhead was a big part of that team. He passed away at the age of 82. From basketball, Eldon Campbell passed away at just the age of 57. Had a heart attack while fishing and apparently fell out of his boat and drowned. Yeah. Played in the NBA from 1990 to 2005. Um, Played with the Lakers, Hornets, Hornets again when they moved from Charlotte to New Orleans, Supersonics, Pistons, Nets, and then finished his career with the Pistons. Was on that '04 Pistons team that won the NBA title. 10,000 career points, 6,000 career rebounds, 1,600 career blocks. It's a pretty good career.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, Campbell, yeah, had a heart attack while fishing.
I guess he was alone.
I don't, I didn't actually see that. Hold on, let me see if I can see it quickly. Personal life. Yeah, it doesn't say
Hmm.
if he was alive, I'm presuming. Inducted in the Clemson Hall of Fame in 2000. Um, was also elected to the Southern California Basketball Hall of Fame in 2024. So, um, also passed away, Mabel Bocci, Italian basketball player, member of the um, International Basketball Hall or FIBA Hall of Fame. She passed away at the 72. Richie Adubato passed away at the age of 87. He coached the New York Liberty and Washington Mystics from 99 through '07. Also as an assistant with the Pistons, Knicks, Mavericks, Cavaliers, and was the interim coach of the Magic in '97. But he passed away at the age of 87. And the biggest name who we missed last week when I was doing everything else, who passed away from basketball, Lenny Wilkens.
Yeah.
Uh, Passed away at the age of 88. Played for the St. Louis Hawks, Seattle Supersonics, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Trailblazers from 60 to 75. Coached the Sonics, Blazers, Cavs, Hawks, Raptors, and Knicks. It's amazing to me that Lenny Wilkens hasn't been a head coach in 20 years. It just seemed like he was always a head coach to me.
Same. I remember sort of like when I first started really watching basketball, like, oh, this guy was also a legendary player.
Yeah, nine-time All-Star.
Yeah. It's I don't know if he was the last great player coach because I know he had a dual role late in his career. I want to say with Seattle. I could be mistaken on that.
It was Seattle, he was, and the Trailblazers.
Okay. Yeah. So like I think he was doing that for quite an extended period of time when that was still when that was still happening. I don't know when they started really phasing out player coaches. I want to say pretty much in the 80s, that was almost done everywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Except for Pete Rose, and maybe that wasn't the best idea.
And that's what killed it.
That could, God, yeah.
United States Athletics Hall of Fame member of the third class, Pete Rose. That's why we have that.
That's right. And Lenny Wilkens is still on the ballot for moving forward on the coaching side. And
Yep.
it sort of brought up that conversation that we still don't know whether we're going to allow double inductees. Like,
Yeah, we have him more on the coaching side than the playing side, but a nine-time All-Star, NBA assist leader on this 50th and 75th anniversary teams,
yeah.
All-Star game MVP in 71. But I think more importantly, he was NBA Coach of the Year in '94, but I always think of him as the coach of the Seattle Supersonics team, first and foremost, that won the '79 championship. So,
Well, he was the head coach when I had Raptor season tickets for a couple of years. So he was the head coach there. So we saw a
yeah.
lot of him.
Yeah, I mean, they have the top 15 and top 10 coaches in NBA history for the 75th, the 50th anniversary team and the 75th anniversary team. He's on both of those.
Yeah.
It makes more sense, as great as he was as a player. It makes more sense to me that he's a coach. He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame for both playing and coaching, as well as the Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame. He was also assistant coach on the '92 Dream Team and '96 Olympic team as well. So
He's in 4 times.
yeah, he's in everywhere.
Yeah.
One of the most important. If you had to do the 100 most important people in basketball history in the United States, Wilkens is top half of that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, but yeah, Lenny Wilkens passed away at the age of 88. Godspeed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so football, just a few here. Woodrow Lowe passed away at the age of 71, member of the College Football Hall of Fame, Also, remember the San Diego Chargers 40th and 50th anniversary teams played for them as a linebacker from 76 through 86. 164 games as a linebacker for the San Diego Superchargers. By the way, that team needs to move back to San Diego. If I ever become a multi-time billionaire, I'm buying the Los Angeles Chargers and moving them back to San Diego, just so you know.
Okay.
After I buy the New England Revolution and get them a real stadium.
Where do they play now?
So they play at Foxborough. So back in Boston, we had something called Assembly Square in and Sullivan Square there in Charlestown, which is part of Boston or across the river in Somerville. And it was a kind of crazy place. Like I played basketball at an indoor basketball game there once and got robbed by the people. We beat people and they took our wallets and ran off. But they
You got robbed by the team you beat?
yes, my buddy and I.
Sorry, that shouldn't be funny, but
It was at the Good Time Emporium, the late great Good Time Emporium in Somerville, Massachusetts.
the
But they
jokes are writing itself. Jesus Christ.
yeah, the Good Time Emporium, it's gone now. It got torn down, but they tore everything down there and built a new Orange Line stop at Assembly Square because there was one at Sullivan that they're going to put in a soccer stadium there for the Revolution, which is the greatest place to put a stadium because A, there's a lot of population there who's used to traffic, and B, that's where all the Brazilians live. The cities with the biggest population of Brazilians outside of Brazil are one Miami, two Boston.
I never would have guessed that in 100 tries.
The third most commonly spoken language in Massachusetts is Portuguese. By a lot. I know so many people. I know here in Chicago, I know lots of people's last name is Patel. In Boston, I know lots of people's last name is Pereira, because we have lots of. Originally, they were Portuguese fishermen. The 1950 U.S. national team that went to the World Cup and did real well was made up of basically one team of Portuguese guys from Fall River, Massachusetts. So there were a bunch of Portuguese fishermen. My aunt, as a matter of fact, married a Portuguese fisherman, Nick Parisi. May he rest in peace. But because of that, then a whole bunch of Brazilian folks came because a bunch of Portuguese speakers. And we also have a ton of Cabo Verdenses, people from Cabo Verde who made the World Cup this time. So a lot of my folks I know who I've worked with over the years, I have to know 20, 30 people from Cabo Verde. That's where I know more people from Cabo Verde than live in Cabo Verde.
That's probably the case. I think you probably know more people from Cabo Verde than people in America know what Cabo Verde is.
That is entirely true. I would bet a lot of money that if we gave most members of our federal government executive branch right now a map and told them to point it out, they would fail miserably.
I think you could use that statement on almost any profession.
For anyone, yeah. But
am I different politicians here? What the hell?
What I was thinking though was I was hoping that they were going to get to Foxborough, but they didn't get a game in Foxborough for that. That would have been awesome. Had any of those teams, Brazil, Portugal, or Cabo Verde, gotten games in Foxborough, that would have been absolutely nuts for them. They would have been home advantage. That's the only city in the U.S. where Cabo Verde could have had a home field advantage. Would have been Boston. But they were going to build a stadium there and it ended up falling through. So instead they built a casino. The Encore Casino is there. And then there's a whole bunch of shops and stuff. It's way nicer than when I was a kid, but I do miss a Good Time Emporium. Batting cages, laser tag, a whole bunch of pool tables. There was a mini arcade. There was bumper cars. There was an indoor basketball court, a whole bunch of sports. I remember watching Vince Young win the national championship with Texas there. But it's gone now. And then my buddy Frank and I did play basketball 2-on-2 against some guys, and they robbed us after. So
sorry,
they just grabbed our stuff. They grabbed our stuff and took off with it. So it's not like I was held up a gunpoint or knife point or anything. They just took it and ran. So
you run after him.
We were more shocked. Like we're on the other side of the court, like waiting for the next game.
Okay.
Because winner stayed.
It was like one of those things. Like, did that really happen?
Yeah, it was more that. anything else. We saw them running, like, why the hell are they running? And they were like, oh crap, our bullets are gone. So, but anyway, all right. Going back to our death group.
Sorry, I took us off track. I tend to do.
That's okay. So three-time Canadian West All-Star and two-time CFL All-Star overall, Ken Nielsen. He passed away at the age of 83, wide receiver for the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Um, and where is this guy? Roy Kramer, the former athletic director at Vanderbilt University, commissioner of the SEC, elected to the College Football Hall of Fame in 2023. He passed away at the age of 96. And then the biggest name I would say that we lost since we did this last in football was Nick Mangold. Um,
Mhm.
I know the Pro Football Hall of Fame doesn't remember that the center position exists anymore. Uh,
They
but
will
if
when
they
Jason Kelsey's up, but yeah.
but if they did, Mangold, two-time first team All Pro, one-time second team All Pro, seven-time Pro Bowler, member of the Jets Ring of Honor, member of the '02 Ohio State National Championship team, first team All American, second team How can you be a first team All American and a second team All Big Ten? I don't understand how that one works.
Same way
Um,
that sometimes you can get a first team All Pro and not a Pro Bowl selection.
that's also true. Um, yeah, but he was only 41 when he passed. He had kidney issues. That was announced, I don't know, 2 weeks beforehand. He put out something on Twitter saying, hey, that he was looking for new kidneys and everything. And that just, he didn't make it. It
So he
was
always
sucked.
seemed like a really good guy too.
He did. It's someone I didn't feel like I hated. And he was on the Jets when they were really, really good. Um,
Well, he's also got a that kick-ass sister who was an Olympian too.
yeah. Yeah.
That's
Probably the second most famous athlete in his family. Um,
at one time. I wouldn't say overall, but
yeah. So,
that
um,
Holly Mangold who we're talking about, she was a weightlifter, and whenever I sort of think women could never play pro football like at any kind of level, I think, but if anyone could,
she's a pretty good choice. So,
yeah.
but he played from '06 to 16 with the Jets, played 164 games, started all 164 games. Yeah, Godspeed to. I don't know if Mangold is the number one guy I'd put on the center list, but centers don't exist to the Hall right now anyway, and it's ridiculous.
They love
So
the Colts, and Jeff Saturday can't get a sniff.
I know, and he's head of
So
the players union. So. Anyway, one from wrestling, Bob Caudle, a wrestling announcer. Do you know him?
not he was like just one of those old school classic announcers. Uh, good voice. Called it like it was a real sport. So,
You're saying it's not a real sport?
well, what I mean.
I
He-
know.
just those that old school delivery, very well respected. Did a lot in the NWA and WCW or early WCW, mostly the NWA. But I didn't see a lot of his work because where I grew up there wasn't NWA television, but
Mm,
apparently like very well respected among his peers.
yeah. So he passed away at the age of 95.
Yeah, and he retired. I think he last did major work in the mid '90s.
Hmm.
So I think I heard on another show that his wife only recently passed, so it looks like he had a really nice, long and healthy retirement.
Hmm. Um, oh, a second here. Okay. So speaking of Cabo Verde, by the way, everything else I have is from music. Are
Mhm.
you familiar with the band Tavares?
I am.
So Chubby Tavares.
Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. Of course I am.
Correct. They are Cabo Verdenses, by the way. Um,
Didn't know.
uh, so R&B music group from New Bedford, Massachusetts, uh, and Providence, Rhode Island. Pooch, Ralph, Chubby, Butch, and Tiny, the five Tavares brothers. All of them are now gone. The last one, Chubby,
Mm.
Anton Lee Tavares, passed away at the age of 81. So uh, yeah, so Ralph passed in 2001. Pooch in 2024, Chubby 2025, Butch and I'm sorry, Butch and Tiny are still alive. I screwed that up. I misread. But Chubby's passed away. So yeah, but they are still going. Of course, their biggest hit, She's Gone, I would say is definitely their biggest hit. She's gone. Oh why? Oh why? Heaven must be missing an angel. Don't take away the music. Only takes a minute. So they had four number one hits on the R&B charts back from 74 through 77. Actually, yeah, another one too. Who Done It in 77. So, but yeah, yeah. So Chubby Tavares is no longer with us. Also passing away. American guitarist and soul songwriter Billy Nichols, who wrote "Do It Till You're Satisfied," which was number two hit for the funk group BT Express in 74. He passed away at the age of 75. Gordon Goodwin, also the leader of Gordon Goodwin's Big Fat Band, who won 3 daytime Emmys and 4 Grammys for keeping big band alive. He passed at the age of 70 from pancreatic cancer. But he worked with Ray Charles, Christina Aguilera, Johnny Mathis, John Williams, Natalie Cole, David Foster, Sarah Vaughan, Mel Torme, Leslie Odom Jr., Idina Menzel, and Quincy Jones, among others. But other than that,
Who
didn't he
did he
know
work
anyone?
with?
Who
Yeah.
did he work with? Um, Also passing away, Raul Malo, the lead singer and songwriter for the Mavericks, the country music band. He passed away at only the age of 60.
He's sudden if I read that correctly, I
I'm,
believe.
I'm sorry?
It's a sudden, like just like
Yeah. Yeah. So uh, he was hospitalized December 4th. They're going to be tribute shows from he had cancer. They're going to have tribute shows. He
oh
was hospitalized on the 4th. They held it on the 6th to give at the hospital to give him one last concert, and
I'm
then he died on the 8th.
with someone else. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Romalo passed away at the age of 60. Um, also passed away, Judy Cheeks, backup singer for Ike and Tina Turner, as one of the Ikettes. Also Stevie Wonder, Donna Summer, and David Knopfler, and others. Um, she also had a couple of hits in the mid 90s, As Long as You're Good to Me and A Cover of Respect. She passed away at the age of 71. Gilson Lavis, drummer with Squeeze. He passed away at the age of 74. Squeeze is a band
Love that band.
they're amazing and they just don't get the credit they
No,
deserve.
no.
Also, was a well-known painter. Had paintings of Eric Clapton, Amy Winehouse, Paul McCartney, and the Rolling Stones that were displayed at exhibitions in London and New York. Um, so multi-talented man, Gilson Lavis. He died at the age of 74. From the band, um, Monty, Gary Montfield, who played with the Stone Roses and Primal Scream. He passed away at the age of 63, bass player for both of those groups, among others. Um, and then the two biggest ones. Do you remember a group called the Four Lads from back in the 50s?
I feel like I should, but
Yeah, they're like at the beginning of the Billboard charts where they hadn't quite decided whether we're still doing big band stuff or rock and roll. The
okay.
Four Lads are one of those groups that were in the middle. They're originally from both, they spent time both US and Canada. I can't believe any of them were still alive. But Bernie Tourish passed away at the age of 94.
Hmm.
They originally sang uh, the Istanbul was Constantinople song, among other things. So
Wait,
that
that wasn't a They Might Be Giants original?
it was not. It was a cover.
Oh man.
Yeah, their first hit was "The Mockingbird" in 1952. So I had a hard time believing any more were still around. They had number two hit with "Moments to Remember" in 55. No, Not Much in 50, was number two in 56, and "Standing on a Corner" was number three, also in 56. Istanbul, not Constantinople. If I could spell it, help.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on that.
Yeah, it was gold singles recorded in 53. It only went to number 10 in the US originally,
Mhm.
and went to number 5 in Canada. So there you go. And the last person, we've gone through a lot, the most famous person from music who passed away this week, Steve Cropper, known as the Colonel, the
Mhm.
guitarist of Stax Records house band, played with, I mean, Booker T and the MGs was essentially him.
Sad.
Played with Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, Sam and Dave, Carla Thomas, Rufus Thomas, Neil Young, Johnny Taylor, was a member of the Blues Brothers band. Rolling Stone called him the 36th of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time, won 2 Grammy Awards, was with the Marquis, just everywhere, like just everywhere. It's not necessarily, Steve Cropper's not a name that people remember anymore necessarily, but so influential in the way that Motown and the music of the 60s sounded.
Absolutely. And my favorite blues brother, actually.
I understand that.
Yeah.
He wrote, by the way, among songs that he wrote Sitting on the Dock of a Bay.
I didn't know that.
He wrote In the Midnight Hour, which is a highly underrated song that Eddie Floyd sang back in the day. He wrote Knock on Wood for Booker T and the MGs, which are all, again, huge. And then Knock on Wood, the cover of Knock on Wood by,
Huge disco hit.
yeah, the disco version. I have my greatest hits of 1979. I was listening to the other day on my Spotify, and the 1979 cover is 100% on there. But yeah, just Steve Cropper, absolute legend, incredible guitarist, incredible musician, passed away at the age of 84. So
Okay, so this brings us to a close. Again, thank you for everyone who's participated in the United States Athletic Hall of Fame. Yes, Evan and I promote that every episode because we're very, very happy. We're very proud of it, and we are going to make it even better. Thanks to all of you. Check out everything else that we're doing here at Not in Hall of Fame. There's going to be a revised country list. It should have been out a while ago. Aaron James.
But you've been busy.
I've been, yeah, but it's been actually written for me because Aaron James Freeman, a gentleman from Canada, is he's the one who offered to do it initially. He sent me the revisions. I've just been so busy in the last couple months. I haven't put it up yet. I will get to it. Aaron, thanks so much. And just a quick shout out. I don't know if he's listening, but Richie Leitner sent a message to me. His mom passed away, and I know Richie and his mom had listened to a few of our shows. May not have listened to anything recently because he's a big Rock and Roll Hall of Fame enthusiast, and we haven't really been covering a whole lot of that lately. But
Correct.
you are been there,
Richie,
buddy.
yeah, Richie, you're in our thoughts, man.
Yeah, yeah, and you sent me a nice note, just that how she passed. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, I'm thinking of you, Richie, and it's a tough thing to lose a parent, as Kirk and I both know. So.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And it does get better.
Yeah.
It does get better.
Never goes away, but it does get better.
Absolutely. I'd like to think that somewhere my dad's not watching this and my mom is.
That's beautiful, man.
Yep.
Right. So on that note, let's just end this thing.
Yep. So wherever you are, wherever you may be, take care because it never comes again. Or make today count because it never comes again. I write my own signature. God damn. I didn't know if I knew how.
Yeah, you got verklempt. I get it.
I did. All right, take care, everybody.
See you later, guys.